I do not want to sound like get off my lawn guy, Kerry Rhodes. I do not want that at all.
When people say that, that means that's what they're saying, though, Dan.
This is not the case because I love what Anthony Edwards does on the court.
Yep.
And I think that Anthony Edwards is so unique, and I think many other people have seen that, so much so that they were drawing comparisons to Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if those comparisons are really fair to Anthony Edwards. In fact, they're not fair to Anthony Edwards. But this is not me being a hater. This is not me being a get off my lawn guy. This is me being someone from a ways away in distance in seeing something in a player that is truly special and not wanting to see it go wasted.
Okay.
That's where this is from. Okay. That's the point where I am starting with all of this.
Yeah.
I sent you a tweet as we go back and forth during these NBA playoffs, and it was pointed out specifically by Dave McMenamin of ESPN, who said that during the time Anthony Edwards was checked out of Game 2 in the fourth quarter, from just under 8 minutes to 5.5 minutes, he put on a face mask to receive oxygen in the tunnel by the Minnesota bench.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now, that may seem like the guy is working. The guy is doing excuse me, what he needs to do. The guy is doing it on the offensive end, and he's doing it on the defensive end. But at the end of the game, when Anthony Edwards needed to be there for his team, he was gassed.
Right.
He was gassed in Game 1.
Yes, he was.
And so now you're saying to yourself, how, when you're in the Western Conference Finals, have you run out of gas? And I think it's very, very important to realize the history of Anthony Edwards, because this is what I mean by grow up. And there's a lot with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was reprimanded once for making a homophobic slur on a video. Apologized for that. Last year, at the end of the playoff loss to the Denver Nuggets, ran off the court, threw a chair in the tunnel. There was an incident following that. I'm not bringing these up to be gotchas. Just telling you that it's time to grow up. And one of the biggest things that we fall in love with Anthony Edwards, that we probably shouldn't fall in love with Anthony Edwards, is Anthony Edwards talking about his love of certain foods. This was from February of 2022. Anthony Edwards about to start a press conference, but instead would rather talk about Ronald McDonald.
Hey, what's up, nephews? Hold on, y'all. Don't ask no questions. Yeah, I'm trying to put an order in McDonald's. Yes, sir.
What's on the menu tonight?
Hold on. I got one more thing. McChickens.
McChickens.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Customized, no ice.
Okay, there's Anthony Edwards ordering McDonald's.
McChickens?
Yes,
What's
McChickens. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. This was Anthony Edwards a few years ago as well, talking about the wonderful cuisine that I definitely love, Popeyes.
Do you have Popeyes, Ant?
Yeah, man. I had to get Popeyes after the game.
Where do Popeye's fries rank?
Fries, they top 4. They top 4. They top 4.
Awesome.
All right. So this is listen, everybody's laughing because guess what? It's funny. It's a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also a team, the Timberwolves at the time, that are trying to make their way, trying to build up, make the playoffs, and have a run. Now it's a little different. Now you're contending for the Western Conference, and you're a 3 seed in the Western Conference. Times are different now. Back then, it's funny.
Yes.
Someone who wasn't laughing last year when those comments were made about Popeyes was Karl Anthony Towns.
Ant was just telling us that he puts a lot of this on him, and he's got to be better in back-to-backs, that he has not done that so far. Can you help him through that, or just is that a young player trying to figure out what to do in this league and how to answer the bell 2 nights in a row?
Maybe I could do a better job of teaching him how to take care of his body, diet and everything. So that'll be on me. I know y'all think it's funny up here when he talks about Popeyes and all that. That doesn't make me happy to hear. We're high level athletes, so I got work to do. but also, it falls on me too. The old cliche, it falls on you. Everyone wants to take the blame, but it's all of it.
So that was Karl Anthony Towns.
Wow.
Yeah, weighing in on his teammate. That was last October. This is the previous season. So this now is Anthony Edwards talking with GQ magazine in a profile done with GQ about his love for another snack, Chester hot fries.
I've been eating them since I was probably like 5 years old. I prefer these over any chips in the world. I probably eat like 3 a day. You do the math. Was that 21 bags? Yeah, I eat that many. Probably more though, for real. Depending on how long my day is.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I started off as like get off my lawn guy.
Yeah.
Now do you see where I'm coming from? When and the point is we laughed. I laughed at all this.
Yes.
Like, gosh, he eats like me. Like it's like not 21 bags of Chester hot fries.
I was like,
but
that's obsessive.
But he is a top level athlete.
Yes.
And even though we've heard that Anthony Edwards has done better with his diet, Rudy Gobert made some comments, during the season that Ant has gotten better. It's difficult for me to forget that when he's getting oxygen during the timeout or when he's not in the game in the fourth quarter because he's completely gassed. Mm-hmm. Like that is the point. That is the point that I bring up of why Anthony Edwards needs to now become a professional. And listen, it's not going to happen in the next 2 weeks.
No.
It has to happen this offseason, whether it's then being around Team USA or finding out. This is the point. Your team has arrived. You have arrived. Now is your time to become that guy. Yeah. That's why I say Anthony Edwards needs to grow up, become a professional. His personality is magnificent. Yeah. It truly is. And we laugh and we have fun, but we're also laughing at what's your favorite Popeyes order? Where do you rank their fries? Where, you get McChickens and 21 bags of Chester hot fries a week. All of that is ha, ha, ha until you're gassed in the fourth quarter of a must-win game in the Western Conference Finals. That's why I say about Anthony Edwards, it's time to become a professional. Because what GOAT, Kerry Rhodes, do we look at and say, you know what, they could have gotten more out of their career? Maybe Tiger Woods without the scandal and injuries, but you are never questioning his work ethic. You are never questioning Michael Jordan's work ethic. You're never questioning LeBron James's work ethic. You're never questioning Tom Brady's work ethic. You are never questioning that. If you're gassed in the fourth quarter, now's the time, by the way. You're still young in your career. You're about to take off. That's why Anthony Edwards needs to be a pro, and Anthony Edwards needs to grow up to become the great one that he could possibly be.
Yeah, it's always you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So the stuff that we respect about him and admire about him, his openness, his candidness, it's great. But in the same breath of those words that I just said about him can be the reason that we pick him apart as well. And so when you talk about growth and talk about starting to mature and understand that, yes, we want you to be you because that's what we fall in love with you about. But you have to understand that people are laughing and kikiing and ha-haing with you in those moments, but in the same breath, they can use that against you. And I think that is a part of growth. That's a part of maturing, but also with his work ethic and the stuff that he needs to do to become a better player and have the energy and not be gassed in these situations. A lot of that stems from when he got there, that team didn't have anybody that was a leader on that team or a guy that you can be like a super vet, where now to have Mike Conley, a guy that's a strong voice in there. You played the bit of Karl Anthony Towns talking about it. Like, people are starting to recognize that, yes, this is funny, but you better understand that people will talk about it like this, and it's warranted. It's not it's not a jab. You're right. Those things are out there because you said that. And so understand that in the same breath where it's cute, it could be damaging to you. And so I think he's starting to understand that. As good as he looks and as well-conditioned as he looks, the stuff you're putting in your body will damage and harm you. And I know that. Coming in as a rookie, I had a pro that taught me how to do that right away in Curtis Martin. So, like, being able to have those guys there to show you the ropes and tell you, hey, I remember making fun of older guys before the practice. I would see them over there warming up and doing knee jerks and rolling their knees in their back. I'm like, what are you doing? Let's go play football. But he's like, all right, young fella, in 7 years,
right?
You're going to want to do that.
There was a bunch of audio, and a great job by our staff and Ian and Bo and Chris for everybody putting that together. I didn't tell you what we were all going to play.
Yeah.
You were a little surprised that it kept going and going.
Yeah.
So as a pro athlete, as a former pro athlete, when you're hearing that, when did it stop being? When did it that audio that we just played? When did it stop being funny?
Oh, the first one.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Really?
Yeah. The rest of it's like, I think him trying to be cute. So I don't know if it's. I don't even know if it's accurate, to be honest with you. I think he's playing up to that. And so he got a laugh, and people thought it was funny or cute the first time. So now it's, I'm going to show you what else I can do, and I can go out here and drop 40 on you, which it makes him seem like he can do whatever he wants and still do what he does. That's what I get from it. Because why, other than that, why would you indulge in that conversation? So that's what I feel from it personally. It's cute. And I can do this. You can't do this, and I can still go drop 40. So it's a little bit of, for me, I would call it cute or a little bit of arrogance. I don't think it's 100% accurate in what he's doing. So that's what I get from it.
There may be people who are saying Anthony Edwards has changed. Anthony Edwards is a different guy.
Yeah.
As those clips were taken from the last season and then the season before.
Right.
But there's a couple of things that you need to remember. Number one, again, he was needing oxygen during a timeout in the fourth quarter of Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals playoff game. He was gassed in Game 1. This isn't, by the way, being gassed in Denver. You know why he wasn't gassed in Denver? Because he wasn't chasing Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic around.
Right.
Even in the thin air, you didn't have to worry about that sort of stuff. So you weren't getting gassed. But what that says is, if anybody wants to say, well, yeah, you got to chase Luka and Kyrie, of course you're going to be tired. That's now your bar. That's who you are trying to pass. And it reminds me of when Michael Jordan in the late 80s was getting the crap kicked out of him by the Detroit Pistons.
Yes.
Jordan says, you know what? I need to get bigger and stronger.
Right.
I need to build up. I need to put muscle mass. I need to be able to handle these beatings because you know why? I have to get through Detroit if I want to be an NBA champion and then on my way to the greatest of all time. And he did that.
Yes.
And that's the message to Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Is like, now is the time. It may not work out this series. It may not happen. But next year, if you make it back to the Western Conference Finals, you can't be gassed in the fourth quarter in games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That is just, you can't do that. So for the problems that Minnesota is having and not being able to close out the game like they did against Dallas in game 2, Anthony Edwards needs to bear that responsibility. This is just a blip on the screen. He's now got a decision to make. You can go this way, or you can continue to go that way, the way that you're going. And that's why I say Anthony Edwards needs to grow up and become a professional.
I love it. No, I agree with you. It's like I said, it's all cute and fun and games until you meet somebody that's up to your skill level and up to par with you and can beat you and show you what you need to do to become that next tier person you want to be.
Sure. And I'm sure somebody's going to say, Luka sits there and smokes all the time.
and Hookah.
Yeah.
Hookah Doncic.
But Luka is not needing oxygen with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. You know, Luka is up 2-0 in the series right now. And guess what? If the roles reverse and Ant's giving Luka the business next year, maybe Luka ends up making some changes or doing stuff like that. But for Anthony Edwards, it's out there right now.
Yeah.
You see what the competition is doing. You see where the competition is and what you need to pass. It's time to be that guy.
100%.